Simon's still in the room? Oh, okay. Simon, first of all, if you'll come up. Oh, it's playing without me. Oh, no. That's okay, just watch. We'll do it again.
His birthday was the same as my niece, and they both, he was always oh, I didn't.
Singing none. I mean,
That was the cooking at the top, and we did one. Yeah.
St. Andy.
Lots of weddings.
Yeah, you don't want to drink out of that one.
Yeah, lots of that was Palm Sunday. Well, it's our Bible study group when we used to meet in person. Now it's all Zoom. Oh, yeah. This was, I didn't read the fine print, see, when they gave me the initial contract. Oh, that's right, when we went to Ashes to Go, that's right. No, actually, that was Floyd, yeah. The Wailing Wall. Oh, yes. Oh, that's right, a cafe in Old Jerusalem. That's a natty hat.
With my brother and sister.
You went there?
That was in the Garden of Gethsemane. That was on Lake Galilee.
Peter's, St. George's.
That was part of our film team who went over. That's right.
He's right here now. Sitting under Dad's leg.
Oh, the kings, the magi. And angels. Well, there have been lots of angels in and around Sam all the time. Oh, Nathan Senatia. She's doing well. She's still living on the coast. Oh, that's Sheldon and St. Nicholas. Remember the drive through St. Nicholas? Yeah, that first year of COVID. It seemed like a dream, doesn't it? There's John. Maybe Liam.
Oh, yeah. His wife did. She said he was having seen him up.
No.
See, Jerry, we baptize in Lent. Is Jerry still in the house? Oh, Easter fire, that's right. I think that was one of my favourite things, is setting a fire in church. And getting away with it. There's Miss Sharon with an Easter basket. Oh, that's the micro shelters. There were being built, yeah. I'm so proud of you guys doing that. It seems like a small thing, but it's actually a really big thing, especially for the families. We've had a number who have lived in there and transitioned onto regular housing. God bless you, thank you for giving up a little bit of your space and inviting others in. That's what it's all about. There's Mackenzie, yeah, with the blessing of the, because, if you know Episcopalians by now, we like to use holy water and bless everything.
It's not moving, bless it.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? No. Oh, yeah. These are nice games. That has been a lot of fun. And you guys were so gracious explaining the rules to me. I'm like, is it like cricket? No.
What's happening?
Yeah, look, he's shaking. Oh, another St. Nicholas. Wow, yeah. Well, St. Nicholas comes in different disguises. Jackson Street. Oh, that was staff Christmas lunch at the old spaghetti factory. Oh, the Christmas pageant and knocking on the doors of Bethlehem. Do you want a room in the inn? No, go away. I think that was probably Evensong or something. Oh no, maybe Lessons in Carols.
And so, we have all of these photos in this book for you that
Oh
we
my
made.
gosh! Oh wow! Sure.
Just watch your sticky dessert fingers.
Thank you. That is really beautiful.
So I'm happy to pass this microphone around to people who might have a little something that they'd like to share. Any volunteers?
Who's going to be the first victim? Come on.
Who was that? Okay. Oh, start right here.
Something very short. I want to do that makes us even harder because, oh, there you go. That makes us even harder because there's more to miss with him leaving. But in praying about this and thinking through it, I stumbled on a little tiny thing. This is not a big deal, but it's helping me, and so I wanted to share it. We are also being called. Father Simon is being called to Salem, but we are being called to share Dr. Simon and not keep him all to ourselves. And when I look at it that way, maybe it won't help everybody, but it makes it a little easier for me to realize that that's where my heart needs to be.
You probably feel sad because Father Simon is leaving. Good?
You feel good. I'm glad you feel
Father Simon helped me and my husband a lot when he was going through his illness. There? Okay, that's it. And also, after my husband died, I was in a car accident, and I'm sitting in the middle of 99, not knowing what to do. And so I called Father Simon, and he came right over. And he also helped me to get a new car, along with some of you all. So I'm going to miss him like crazy, but we're always going to be friends, and I wish you all the best. Thanks.
So my first impression of Father Simon was I wandered into the back of this sanctuary, and there's this priest up there giving a sermon with a charming British accent. First perk right there. And then I was pretty astonished when he was speaking about God in the third person. He didn't say God himself or God herself or God any other pronoun self. He said God's self. And I thought, what a bold and inclusive way to talk about the divine. And it meant a lot to me because it's something that I, struggling to understand God in and outside of gender is a kind of a lifelong struggle for me. And so just instantly I thought I had this kind of visceral sense that, oh, this is a place where I'm actually safe. And since then I have been continuously impressed by just the vision that you've brought to your role as leader here, and how, in no uncertain terms, how you have held such a generous and yet a firm line to say that we are a church of radical hospitality, we are a church of welcome and inclusion, we are a church of love. And that is sometimes a very awkward thing to be, and sometimes makes a lot of waves and isn't easy, causes a lot of friction. And at those points of friction, I've seen Father Simon take a firm and humble stand in saying, this is who we are, this is who we will be. And I very much hope that we will continue to follow that part of the vision as we move forward.
Well, you didn't think I would say anything, did you?
I'm gonna get my tea.
Yeah, get your tea, Simon. It's gonna be a minute. And then I'm gonna come to the front of the room because, I feel like roasting you in some ways. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. Hi, everybody.
You can.
I can. I can roast you a little. Really? Oh my God, it's very exciting. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Melissa Bird. Yes, I am part of the vestry, but also, I grew up in Utah, but I'm okay. I grew up as a bisexual Native American feminist in Utah. You can imagine how well that went over with people. Not Mormon. Because my family got kicked out of the church when my father committed suicide. So, God and I were not friends. And in fact, I hated church. Hated, despised, loathed, could not fathom ever walking into a house of God. Until my oldest daughter, Caitlin, when we moved here in 2017, so my beautiful husband could get his bachelor's degree, my daughter, Caitlin, kept saying, Mom, we have to go to church. And I'm all, oh, hell no. And yes, I just swore in the sanctuary. I mean, we're not in the sanctuary, so it's okay. I just swore in Simpson Hall, but it's going to be okay. So I'm not preaching. Thank goodness I didn't swear up there. That's hard, y'all. See, I'm so glad you said yes. It is hard sometimes. So anyway, Katie kept begging and begging and begging and begging, and I was like, no. So we had friends, the Marks, Mark with a C and Mark with a K, and one of them was an Episcopal deacon in Laguna Beach. And I said, I need you to find us a church. And he called Salem, Eugene, and Corvallis, all the Episcopal churches, and he called Good Sam. And I think he actually talked to you. You communicated in some way, because he said, well, I need to find this church. And he called all of the rectors for me, because I was like, I'm not doing that, because I'm going to burn up when I walk into church. And he said, you're not going to believe it, but I just got off the phone with the rector at your church. And I was like, oh, really? Interesting. He goes, it's only 2 blocks from your house. And I'm like, nope, still not going to church. And he's all, but he has a lovely British accent. I'm like, I don't really care. That is intriguing. So we come to church, and I'm terrified. Y'all, I'm terrified. Also, my Mormon forefathers would be really proud of me bearing my testimony right now. Just kidding. Okay, so terrified. And we walk in that door, and Phyllis is standing there. And she looks at my 3 children. None of us have ever been to church as a family. And my husband says, welcome to Good Sam. Here's your bag with bread. Sean's like, bread? This is amazing! We get free food! Gwendolyn's terrified. Katie's like, this is going to be weird. And I am mortified that I'm going to walk into that sanctuary and be set on fire. Terrified that I'm going to be judged, that someone's going to figure out who I am. And I walked into that church and I cried every day, ugly cry, for 3 Sundays solid for 3 months. And it wasn't just because you can sing an amen like nobody ever. Who knows amens? But you all loved us. You all embraced us as a community. And it's not just about you. It is the staff. It is this room. It is the choir. It's that fire in the fireplace. It is a sense of place at Good Sam. Good Sam is not just about the worship. It is a sense of place and divine love. So imagine my shock when I'm terrified of being set on fire in a sanctuary, and all of a sudden this lovely man named Simon says, have you ever thought about preaching? I was like, no. No. And he's like, I really think we ought to talk about it. And then Wendy Boring got involved, and it was over once Wendy Boring got involved. And then again, I was terrified. And this is what I love about Good Sam, is it stretches you. And it pulls you into God in a way that is so profound. And so much of that is the legacy that you're leaving, Simon. Your wit, your sarcasm, the beautiful way you can sing that liturgy. But also this creation, because you listen to God. And that's what I love about you leaving. Is that you're not leaving because we've done something wrong. You're not leaving because you've retired. You're leaving because God called you. And in that, God is calling all of us. And it still trips me out that I even believe that it's God. It's still a little weird that I still talk to God. Like it's a little bizarre. And it's because of your brilliance in creating a place where all of the people here, all of the people online, all of the people that connect with and use this building can be loved and held in the energy of this place. So thank you so much, and I love you.
Maybe too much.
I know, I could be a little
No.
I'm not going to follow that because that was so much it said.
My name is Louis Nagy, and I've been here since 1969. So I've been through 4 rectors. All of them have been successful in one way or another. They all brought strength here, and I'm looking forward to our next rector meeting. We have to. And like I said, wherever I work, my job is to make my boss look good as an employee. And in a way, we're employees here. We have a leader, and, well, we have to move with them. Well, seeing a few of those pictures just a little while ago reminded me of the trip to Israel. In 2011, 11 or 12 people, mostly from this church, a couple from Newport, went to Israel for about 11 days. A trip of a lifetime. one of many, but one of many for many of you, but one a great one for me. It turns out that I was kind of like the odd man out. Everybody else was paired up in rooms, and there were 2 people to a room. And if you didn't have a second person, as a single, you had to pay for a whole room, which was a little bit of a burden financially. I found out Father Simon was bunking alone. And I was audacious enough a week before the trip to ask if I could bunk with him, or perhaps 2 weeks before. And he said, well, of course, we'd be happy to. Well, I was surprised at the answer, but then nonetheless, I took advantage. So I straightened out my ticket, saved many hundreds of dollars, by the way, and off we went. I think on the trip from New York City to Tel Aviv, I acquired some sort of virus. And so we bunked together, and out of the 11 days, I think I coughed through the night for 7 and kept him up. I knew I did, because I kept myself up. That was my thank you for him sharing the room and saving me hundreds of dollars. So that's a little funny story on its own.
You still owe me, Lou.
I'm sure he still remembers that, though. My hacking cough. Well, it cleared up before the trip was over, but it was nonetheless a problem for both of us. I have to say, I learned a lot about myself and about bunking with our rector. I tried to give him as much space as possible. I didn't bother him too much as we went around various places in Israel because he had all these people to take care of. And he was a leader, but we kind of imposed on each other, sharing a bath, showering, etc. 2 guys, handling it quite well, I think. Yeah, I think so. At any rate, I would say that his direction and leadership and the way he illuminated things on that trip really deepened my faith. I'm a geography person. I'm a place person. And going to new places is always exciting. Sitting in the Sea of Galilee, sitting on a hillside which was supposedly where the Sermon on the Mount was given, was very impressive. It really left an impression on me, but also his leadership and his word. And I have to say, thank you for that. I mean, people raise each other in different ways. We all raise each other in different ways. Your Father Simon has helped me in my abiding faith in Jesus and in the story we live to this day. So, and I'll say one more thing. As I said to Father Simon as I was leaving church this morning, you're going to be a commuter now. Every day you're going to drive on the dangerous roads of Linton and Marion County. Please, I pray for you. I hope you carefully be right. I hope we all keep him in our mind and say a prayer or two once in a while. And call on St. Christopher if you have to make him safe. Thank you.
Hello. So I was walking down the road and had a series of good conversations with old friends, and something came into my mind. Maybe this is exactly the right time to walk into church. And so I did, and this has been a couple leaps of faith that I've taken now, leaving the spot where I was raised and thought my life comfortable at, moving somewhere that was unknown and with many variables at play, and with help from all of you, I've been able to make it this far, and I appreciate everything you guys do. I appreciated the pomp and circumstance of the ritual, the ceremony. It was gorgeous to watch. It felt so moving as it was experienced, and I think that everything, the Zachary with the organ, that was amazing. The
composition of the liturgy. I enjoyed, and I just want to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Simon, I know that you just love being the center of attention. And, you know, don't we all love being appreciated, but don't we all get a little squirrely if there's a little too much? Too bad. Tough luck. I want to appreciate you in so many ways. On a personal level, thank you for putting up with my a little bit obsessive compulsive, a little bit anxiety, fixing everything that wasn't a problem, self. And I watched as you did the same for others and their particular flavors of helpfulness. And watch how you taught me about what a church is. It's not liking everybody, but it's struggling in love and learning from it. You guys have been here like 16, 17 years or something, so enough to also watch your arc. And darn, you're becoming luminous. You're just about becoming glowing. And it grieves me that you're leaving, but I echo with Missy, yeah, you're not leaving us. You're being called, and I really appreciate that you don't want to glide out into retirement. But thank you for seeing us and hearing us and being with us in your grace and your forgiveness and teaching us to grow. And letting us poke you a little bit so you grow too. Yeah. Just a little bit. Okay. And you're so appreciated and loved. Yeah.
Father Simon, as a member of your non-traveling circus, we would like to pledge you in thanks for all you've meant to us and all you have done with us and for us, that we will keep our costumes as bright and cheerful as possible, and that our acts as polished and as entertaining and responsible as we can give them. And we do again thank you for your courage.
Well, I was wondering if I was going to be able to come up with anything at all like a poem for Father Simon. And so this is only sort of, but I was realizing when people are really special, for me, it's something that is helpful for me to just really sit with words for a little bit. So what I wrote was, which I titled, Blessed by Your Presence, for Father Simon. On this day, we say words that bring tears, words like goodbye, to you as priest, as one who serves, who's been among us for many years. We celebrate you and all you've brought us, and we hold close to our hearts all we'll remember and miss when you close the door for the last time. We will miss your arms outstretched in welcome, in offering the bread, the blessing, arms open to embrace, and heartily pulling the rope on the heavy courtyard bell. We'll miss your voice, your prayers, words clearly spoken, richly sung, words to uplift, to caution, to admonish, to heal, words to help us pay attention to what the Spirit is saying. You've been among us as priest, as guide, as nurturer, as launcher, as the center point or hub, as teacher and as friend. We'll miss your compassionate presence as you helped carry our burdens, supported us in our fears and pain, celebrated our joys, and shared in our common humanity as community. And now, we wish you the peace of running waves, of flowing air, the quiet earth, the shining stars, and the sun of peace. We wish you everything you need as you step into ministry in a new place, offering your gifts in and to a new community, upheld by the Spirit and by all the love that will accompany you every step of the way.
Just a couple more. So if you have something that you're really wanting to share, be thinking about what that might be and keeping it a little bit brief so we can wrap up. Just a couple more.
My wife and I were being dissatisfied by having our combined 120 years of Catholic experience, and we were disappointed in what we found here at our church in Catholic Church. And so Tricia said, well, what about that church a third of a mile down the street? And they said, no, we made a point of buying a house that was a mile from our Catholic church, and so why don't you go to a place that's even closer? And so we came here, and I had absolutely no expectations. So was really pleased to be shocked, actually. And the first thing, before I was willing to commit, I asked Father Simon, you're retiring here, aren't you? You're going to be here the rest of the time that we're going to be here, aren't you? And he said, yes, I am. I'm going to be here. You can count on it. And then, especially when I joined vestry a year ago, I didn't want to be on vestry unless I had some stability. So yeah, it's going to be here. It's going to be here. But the beautiful thing that has happened is, especially in vestry, but throughout the whole experience of church here, is that as he has been describing it, as we have been learning, this is church. That's not church. That's an important part of the church. And that is the part of the church that brings us together in some respects, but that every single one of us is God working through us and building the kingdom. And thank you for being our leader, and thank you for teaching us what we really need to teach and learn. Thank you.
As a former teacher of speech, stand up, speak up, sit down. So, in short, the one thing that people haven't mentioned is that he is a master of homiletics. If you don't know that word, that's the art of preaching. And I will sow your sermons. Yes.
Simon, I want to thank you and say how much it's meant to me to serve with you as a work colleague and serving the Eucharist with you and all the training that you've given me as someone pursuing ordination. I'm so grateful for the years together and I speak for all of us now, of you being our rector and our priest and our friend, our pastor. We'll never be the same because of it, and we're very grateful. You talked about gratitude this morning, and I believe that we're equally, if not more, grateful for all that you've been to us. Would you come up?
Yes.
Let's close with a word of... Oh, look what Sharon has!
Wow.
That's beautiful. You want to sell them?
Should we say a prayer? Should we say a prayer together?
We're going to say a prayer together. So if you would, if you're comfortable, you reach out your hands to Father Simon as a signifier of your blessing. Gracious God, we thank you for bringing Simon into our lives. We thank you for placing him here at Good Sam for the years that he's been here. We thank you for all the work that you've accomplished, the vision that you've set, the love that you've established. We're so very blessed. And now, God, as he moves forward, as he answers the next call, we ask that you go with him. We ask that the Holy Spirit fill him with peace and joy and life and guidance, with the words to speak, with the love to give, with the care to offer, with the wisdom that is needed in every situation. We ask your blessing on his life, on his family, on his travels, on his work, on all that concerns him. We give thanks to you for this community and all that you have in store for us and all that you have in store for Simon. In Jesus' loving name we pray. Amen. Thank you. Thank you to all who helped with this. There were many of you who lent a hand, and I so appreciate it. There's lots of sandwiches and lots of desserts, and you have to admit those are to die for. So please take some home. And anybody who would like to help Andrew, he's our table guy. So if you'd like to lend a hand taking down tables and chairs, that would be most appreciated.
Do remember to take a look at the book table. There's some really strange stuff there. Just don't ask me, maybe, I don't know. I might not even have an answer myself. Thank you for this moment. It's one of those moments that I will treasure always, as I treasure, I've been thinking a lot about all the adventures we've had. We've had quite a few, haven't we, over the years. And just sort of, as Mary did, sort of holding those in my heart, and that they still teach me. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for being so gracious most of the time. Thank you for all the time. I didn't mean it. No. Thank you for all that you shared with me. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for correcting me. And Missy put it beautifully. This church, this community, this place has a way of kind of stretching and pulling you into growth. And I've certainly experienced that. I'm not the same person that I was when I came here. And I'm so grateful to you for helping to shape me and for making this place a safe place for me to be myself as well. So I am really excited about your next chapter, and I'll be waiting for news with bated breath. And yeah, that's it. No more words. God bless you. Thank you.
Last thank you, and that was to Michelle and Al and Charlie for loaning you to us for the last 22 years. And thank you for pointing in the way to spiritual journeys for a lot of us over the years. Thanks again, Simon.
That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for helpers.